So in between episodes, I've updated and added a few new mods. So we now have Tool Belt, which I am very excited to have back. And we also have added doggy talents. So now we have dogs with their proper, I suppose you can call them talents. But yeah, so we have our dogs that are just kind of sitting around and hanging. But every now and then I might let them go and you know, they're all in wandering mode. They all have their own food bowl. So we've got Blue, Mala, and Greta. Mala is downstairs still. You can see her down there. And so today I had wanted to do a few cool things with string because I wanted to get them some collars, but I don't seem to have enough to get everybody a collar, unfortunately. I only have enough for 2 collars, and I needed a third. So I was messing with hemp because I thought, okay, we can just use hemp, right? Wrong. You can't use hemp anymore. And I'm really upset by that, to be completely honest with you. I don't know why they changed that. But that is why I've now added flax instead, which might be the reason why that recipe was changed / removed, was because no one ever used flax if you could just use hemp. I don't know. I don't care. What I do know is I've now got enough for my third collar. And now I can dye these. So these are really cool because you can dye them literally any color. And so I can take some time to get everyone's colors right how I want them. Not that I'm particularly picky because they're just dog colors, but it's still nice because if I wanted to do a specific shade of red or whatever, I can. But I don't really care. So what we'll start with is a blue color with maybe some black added to it. Does that count? Does that care? Okay, maybe not. Maybe I should have done it like this. Maybe it's not any color. Maybe it is a dye color. I just assumed because of the That's weird. Okay. I just kind of assumed. Well, whatever. We'll make a magenta one. So blue will get the blue collar. And Greta will get the pink or magenta one. And then we'll go bring Mala the red collar. So I haven't really done anything in between episodes, but what I should do, and you can see I really haven't done everything that I needed to do either. What I should do, though, is take the time to really quickly fix up that spot. And there we go. So that gives us our innervation dynamos. Now, we just need to get some proper flux ducts, which I'll probably work in the next, maybe today, but maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But work very soon on a way of getting better flux ducts as well, because we're not really making the best of our flux duct varieties right now. So what I want to do is rearrange this a little bit. So right now we have these two running off of this power, and I don't necessarily want that. What I'm probably going to do instead is disconnect that power and run it on a separate line, because I think that the power for that should definitely be isolated. Now, if only I had a way of getting up there. There we go. So we'll go ahead and come over here and isolate a few of these different perspectives, or aspects rather, of our setup. So that guy can probably run off of it still, but I still would like to realign it to this block. So we can just do that, and then have another one at, would that be here? Okay. So then we would do this, and this, and this. And then that. That'll still provide those things with power, but I want for that power to be separate from this power over here. So we might actually need some more of our little relays. Alright, so I think we're ready for just a small bit of expansion here. So what we need to do is first start by saying, don't send any more items out, because right now we're kind of in the middle of something. Now, I of course want to expand evenly both directions, because symmetry is an important concept to keep grasp of. But that should mean that we're going to need some conduits here. It also means that we need to remove our glass and remove our trash can. And the trash can's probably just for the better anyways. So we can grab ourselves our innervation dynamos, and of course we'll have to rotate them. No surprise there. Oh, I guess that wrench doesn't work for that. This wrench does, but I messed it up. There we go. So those are all facing the right way now. I also need to replace these two with dropping conveyor belts and add dropping conveyor belts to these two. Toss a trash can down here after we clean up the perimeter of the block space. So we need to just kind of put that in the corner still, save ourselves some blocks. Do that, and then we actually need to also do this, because that's where the trash can is going to go back into. And we'll still see just a little bit of that. So if I just make sure that we have some sort of an outlet for our power, then we should be good. So I want to start by just making sure. Of course I can do this for now, that shouldn't cause any problems. We can put the glass back. I brought more glass just in case we end up needing it. Right now I'm just looking at ways that we can conserve our fancy blocks. Because you can't see that, and that is good to go. Cool. So now this entire thing is prettied up a decent bit. And we're going to need 2 pieces of glass. So let's go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's do swap. And go ahead and get the gray bordered glass for this. So for now, of course, this guy is going to be getting all of the redstone. After it gets filled up, we'll actually notice that we're going to have quite a bit of it left over. So that's pretty exciting, if you ask me. So now all I need to do is figure out, I think it's here. If I had them here, that would be a good place for an energy cell. So then, let me just make sure that I've got the routing done properly. So if I've got that guy there, then we should have 0 difficulty. I do need that block. There we go. So now we can tell this guy that you can make the front output, and we can do some very simple routing. So my plan is essentially to mirror the other side. Just like this. And then we can toss these 2 down. I think I'll just put that one in the back. Why not? And now, you know, I'm not crazy for that. So why don't we move this up a little bit? That's pretty easy to do anyways. We can move it up to be about right here. Actually ends up using the exact same amount of conduit anyways. And then it won't look so weird. Perfect. So now this should be our buffer for the crusher, which is a good thing considering how much stuff we tend to crush. So I think that's looking pretty good for our power upgrade and supply. The only thing that's left is to figure out how much power we're even making. We can figure that out. So right now, if maximum is 40 RF per tick, and we have 7 of these, then that's 2100 RF per tick. Is that right? Or is that 210? No, 2100. 280? That's not right either. Well, you can see that all of these dynamos are definitely starting to fill up. The first one's already full, and the second one's getting there. So I'm definitely very excited to see kind of where this ends up taking us. Interesting. So we have, of course, some upgrades and augments we can put on these as well, but I'll do that probably at some other point. We might want to look into getting some better conduits laid, though, because, well, we're not really using the best of conduits right now. Alright, so I've got an all-new conduit work laid out. And so what we've done is down here I've actually completely removed the conveyor belts. And instead we're just using some opaque item ducts. We could use the clear ones if we wanted, but it's kind of a waste, to be honest. And we're using a storage crate. So this crate's going to be full of redstone, which this is actually a much more efficient process. So what'll happen, this crate will get full of redstone, and then when this backs up, it turns off the entire machine, stops using up power. It works out really just quite well, because then we have just a servo extracting our items, our redstone, into here, and we have all of our dynamos running. I also took the time to make a few of the machines from thermal expansion so that we could improve a good bit of our conduits, but there's a few that I've missed, so let's go ahead and do those real quick. What I have done, though, is for all of our conduits in the upstairs area, we have upgraded those to the redstone energy conduits, the redstone flux ducts, rather, not energy conduits. So I moved all the machines, first of all, so this room is no longer machines. This room is now what that room was. And this room now has a energy feed coming straight up from the from the energy cell downstairs, and it is using the nice redstone energy flux ducts, and these are really great. So I made a magma crucible and a fluid transposer just for those things, but we also want that for a few other things that I would like to get into as well. So that'll definitely come in handy at some point. Let's just grab a little bit more cobblestone to fill in a gap there, and then we also have right there. We'll grab these. And then we should be good to go. Oh, I almost forgot. I need to also grab another stone brick and another... Do I have any more of these structural ducts? If I don't... No, I do. There we go. And so I will need my chisel. That's right. I have it right here. If I just do that. And we'll need to just kind of structural duct these so that they are in good working shape. Oh, that's interesting. So, I think at some point in this episode, I might also try to set up an automatic system of some variety for our items, just because it's getting a bit tedious dealing with everything that we have manually. So I might set up an auto processing system of some variety, but I'm not really certain. So this will give us all of those, and I actually meant to fill this in. I should have done that. There we go. Go ahead and fill that in and do that. And there we go. Now it's like nothing has happened. So now we're literally only using the windmill power for the elevator and for our cloche guy over here. And I believe that should literally be all we're using it for. We're no longer passing that power around anywhere else. It's still coming in right around here somewhere, I thought. Yeah, right here. It's still coming in right here. So we still have it coming in through the same place, just not using it quite in the same location that we were previously. But that's fine by me. So let me just go ahead real quick and turn these back into a single structural duct. That way we can use these for later. And this also, changing over to the item ducts has also helped with tick lag issues that we were having, which was probably... I'm investigating a bug with persistent bits. There may or may not be a pretty big issue there. I'm not necessarily sure. So we're trying to figure that all out right now. But in my absence, Theakill has also made a viaduct, so that was pretty funny. What I'm probably going to do is, just to make sure that it stays loaded, I'm going to make another chunk loader. And we figure out how much more radius we need for that. I think we should be good, though. So we'll just grab another ender pearl, and we'll need 4 obsidian and a book, which would be on page 2 of this guy. I actually need more obsidian than this, I believe. I need 3 more pieces. Please tell me I have 3. There we go. Good. I should probably change this recipe. I don't think chunk loaders should use diamonds and emeralds and stuff anymore. I did at one point, but I no longer feel this way. So what I might do is change it so that instead they use completely rechange the mod around so that the recipe and also the model are both changed. Because I think I might make it cost like emeralds instead or something neat like that. So now, if I just go here, we can just take the viaduct all the way to Theokil's place, at least. It's quite a long ways, but we can also see some other kind of cool stuff. I like the sound effect too, by the way. That's a nice touch. And here is Theokil's place. And so now that I've chunk loaded that area, you can also check out my place now. So yeah, Theokil has done some really crazy stuff with seared bricks. I don't know, is this smeltery drain? Okay, so I guess these are, well, that's a seared furnace. Is this a smeltery then? Okay, yeah, so here he has a smeltery, which is pretty cool. And an auto shearing machine, it seems like. Very cool indeed. And he was letting us know that spatial pylons are completely broken, which you can tell. They are definitely not working, but that's okay. He's probably in the process of fixing it as we speak anyways. So he's got a lot of kind of cool stuff going. He's gotten this cloche done, and he finally got those working. Ah, and he's using, it looks like a water mill. Neat. Oh, I didn't know those got a new texture too. Those are really pretty. And then, yeah, so it looks like he's done some other pretty neat stuff as well. Let's see. I like to just check up on people's stuff. Wow, that is a lot of magical wood. And that is a lot of energy. For sure, definitely a lot of energy. Well, that is very neat. This is some cool stuff. So why don't we head back home? So now that we are home and my inventory is clean, I want to get started with some better armor stuff. Because that's the last thing that I think I want to do this episode. And there's a lot of stuff that I just have not yet done. And to be completely honest, I've been kind of negligent of this this mod for a little while. I did a little bit last Let's Play series, which was great. But I definitely need... I just need to get around to this mod. I really do. And there's no reason why I don't. So let's get into Psi, because it seems like it's one of the best magical armor-based mods. Oh, I already had an enchanting table. Dang it. Oh, well, whatever. But, yeah, so it's one of the best magical-based mods that we have right now as far as armor goes, because everything else is kind of just a bit of a dud, or just doesn't work out too well. So, I'm looking for a piston. I may already have one, but that's not necessarily a guarantee. Doesn't look like it. We'll just make one real quick. Oops. I forget that these are not drawers. These are barrels. And so we'll need another piece of iron and another piece of redstone. So yeah, there we go. We'll do that. I'm very excited about doing some Psi stuff, though. It's been a little while since I have, so it's nice to kind of get back into it and figure out what all we should be working on. So, what I'm probably going to do, if you remember, I can save or reload all my stuff from before. Probably going to do that. In fact, I just did. So, let me just go through here and relearn all of these real quick. And there we go. So we now have everything. Now, I do want to get some redstone plopped down. So let's get... we'll just do a stack. And go ahead and turn that into Psi dust. That way we probably never have to worry about making Psi stuff again. So we can go ahead and make ourselves a spell programmer. And And we can also do a few bullets, a few spell bullets. I think I'll need about 6 of them. That'll be good. And is there anything else off the top of my head that I really, really need? I guess I should go ahead and start making these things, huh? So I just need some iron and gold. So we can do one of these, and one of these. We'll go ahead and turn this back into the boring old assembly now that we have our sawdust. And we can put the spell programmer down, and we can go ahead and put together a better CAD. My apologies to headphone users. It's also a smidge loud for me, but not that bad. And now if we look at the infusion, we can do greater infusion or just plain infusion. We'll do plain infusion for now. And save that, and just toss that in here. And so now we have one of 4 spells, which will be very nice. So for infusion step 1, we need to have some gold. And there we go. That gives us our psi metal ingots. Now all that's left is making the psi gems, and then we can be on our way to some very nice materials. Oh, and actually, I did that, but I forgot to make the rest of the materials. So we can go ahead and do that real quick as well. So we need to make, is it tier 2? Can I make tier 3? I can make tier 3. Okay, so we can just go ahead and do that. We'll use, we'll end up using more this way, but that's okay, because I'll probably just stick with this tier and be happy with it, because this is a pretty decent tier gun, if you ask me. So then if I do, I can't do that one yet without diamonds. But I can do this one with just some glowstone. So let's grab some glowstone and the rest of that redstone and some gold. And let's see, so we're going to want tier 3 and tier 3. And I don't suppose I can make tier 3. I can make tier 2. Tier 2. And then the last thing is I might be able to manage getting a white CAD colorizer. Looks like that should be pretty straightforward. I always like having a white CAD. I don't actually know why. I just prefer it. Do I have any white? No, I do not. So let's go ahead and just make some from bones. There are more efficient ways of getting bone meal. I know. I don't care. It's not something I'm terribly concerned by. So let's see. Can we do the white colorizer now? I need glass. That's right. There we go. Now we can do the white CAD colorizer. And we can go ahead and get ourselves a very nice CAD. Very great. And we'll just go ahead and take this one and put it on an item frame, I suppose. Actually, you know, first I should probably take out this infusion spell, because I'm going to want that for later. Oh, I did exactly the wrong thing. There we go. That should be good. I'm going to leave that there because I have a few more spells that I'm going to make as soon as I am done here. I just want to grab an item frame real quick, and then I will be on my way. I don't think I have enough sticks. No, so we will just make them from planks. There is our item frame. And then we'll just toss it up here just for fun. Just because I think that looks cool. So I'm going to take a little while to program some spells up again, some of the ones that I've already made, and maybe a new one or two. We'll see if I end up needing that or not, but I'll go and do that off camera because you've probably seen it before, and it's not really necessarily too fun to do on camera, to be completely honest. It's just kind of one of those things that has to be done either way. So I'll go ahead and get it handled, and I will see you guys in just a bit. And there we go. That should be the last one. So the only thing, actually, there is one that I forgot, but it's a really easy one to do. So we'll do blink and target and distance. So the distance will just be a constant. We'll make it 5 blocks. And target is caster. And we'll call it blink. And so now we should have pretty much everything that we usually have. We can go ahead and put that in the offhand, even though it's going to make me mad like it always does. But now we have a Conjure Light spell, even though the light block is broken because of a stupid texture name. We should also have Blink, which is particularly useful for just dumb stuff like that. What else have we got? Oh, we also have an Ancient Golem who seems to be upset with us. Whatever. And we have our usual Break Block from a distance and Conjure Light and some other cool stuff. So, now all we need to do is use Greater Infusion to make some Psi Gems, because I believe, hopefully we have enough Psi Metal. I need to see. We need 1, 2, 3. No, we immediately are already going to be out. That's going to be 9 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 more pieces. We can handle that. So we'll just go over to Infusion and make those. And then Greater Infusion, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 diamonds. That's pretty reasonable considering what we're about to get for this. And now we just need a full set of armor. Now, these armor sets can do some really cool stuff. And honestly, I'm not going to utilize that in the slightest. I literally just want regenerating armor. There's a lot of neat stuff that it can be used for, but I just don't really have any interest in that, to be honest. So, I think that's going to call it an episode there, though. We have gotten a little bit of size stuff, and clearly there is a lot of good stuff coming for us with enchantments. So I'm going to enchant all of this armor in between episodes, because I've just been gathering a lot of experience in the experience solidifier. So we have a decent amount at this point. And if I take a look at our setup here, we have a few that might actually be really useful, but we'll just kind of see as we come across those. Step boost might be neat, though. So I'll go ahead and start enchanting some stuff, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed.